All right, guys, we have Wyatt Teller here. If you want to raise your hands with questions, call on you. All right, first question will go to Ashley.
Hey Wyatt, I mean, I know this is unfortunately nothing new for you guys given the last like 3 or so years with the tackle injuries, but just here you are again and having to manage all this. Like, how do you think that you guys are doing as a group?
Yeah, no, I feel like you know, there's good stuff we're doing, there's not so good stuff we're doing, but at the end of the day, we're if we're all on the same page, I still say, we can be one of the best groups in the league. We just, have to handle the little things and then the big things will come. I feel like at a lot of these games, we're an inch from a big play, a big explosive play happening. Last week versus the Packers, I don't think they had a run over 10 yards and we were able to get that first run over 10 yards. So as long as we can, not moral victories, I mean, obviously we want to win the game, but, you know, ways of handling, whatever the front is doing or stuff like that. I trust our coaches and I trust, the guys we have in the room to get it done.
Thanks.
All right, next we go to Scott.
Hey, White, you guys are trading for Cam Robinson. What do you know about him, and what do you think he can add? A guy that started a bunch of games.
Yeah, exactly. I think you hit the nail on the head. A guy who has experience, who's going to help us, learning the plays and all the jargon and stuff like that. Again, having experience, there's only so many, horrible saying, but there's only so many ways you can skin a cat, right? Like duos, zone, zone. Techniques might change a little bit, and jargon might change, but for the most part, it's pretty much the same. So having a guy who has experience and able to step in and help us, is paramount.
And we just talked to Kevin a while ago, and he didn't commit to sticking with Joe at quarterback, and obviously there's a lot of speculation about that. What would you think if he made the move to Dylan?
Yeah, no, I love this team. I love our quarterbacks. It doesn't matter. To me, I have to be a better right guard. So the quarterback situation is a quarterback situation. That's up to coach. But in my mind, there's so much, like I said, we're an inch away from a big run hitting, a big play happening. So I don't, I'm not, that's up to coach. To me, I need to be a better right guard.
Thanks.
Okay, next we go to Mary Kay.
Yeah, Wyatt, regardless of what Kevin decides to do for this weekend, what can you say about the job that Joe has done for you guys so far this season, especially as it relates to just kind of getting up time after time again after he's gotten hit a fair amount and he's just shown, I think, a lot of toughness. What can you say about the job he's done?
Yeah, exactly. I think he shows toughness. Like I said, there's a couple plays that, haven't gone our way, but, I think that, we're so close. I mean, one of those is just, miscommunication. I had an MA yesterday where, it's an easy look, but miscommunication can cost the play. So I love Joe. I think that Joe's an unbelievable leader, unbelievable man, father, husband. So, I just, I love him. So everything like that, but it doesn't matter who's playing a quarterback. If it's me, I wouldn't want to play quarterback. But if they ask me to, I'll do whatever it takes for the team. We're gonna be running the ball a lot if I'm the quarterback. But no, I feel like, we've had a lot of good stuff and a lot of stuff that can be improved, and we need to focus more on the quadrant of, in quadrant of success. Bad plays can happen, but or good play, bad play, all this different stuff. We still need to be able to, play complementary football and overcome problems. If something bad happens, it's, we're not hanging our heads. We still have a chance to win.
And given the strength of your defense, what do you feel like this team, even at 1-3, could be capable of once you guys as an offense get it rolling?
Yeah, no, I feel like if we can play complementary football in all phases of the game, our defense is unbelievable. The games that have gotten away, it's been, late in the fourth quarter where we had a chance to win in the fourth and it got away, due to, whatever. So, I feel like our defense, the way that they're playing, if we can hold on to the ball, time of possession, keep them off the field, get that first down every drive, no 3-and-outs. Obviously 3-and-outs are going to happen. We play really good football teams. But just mitigate it and mitigate the MAs and, penalties and stuff like that, and give our defense a chance to, really go out there and shine, and have energy and juice. Stuff that if they're out there, if we're going 3-and-out and they're out there for, 30 minutes of possession, it's never good.
Thank you.
All right, next go back to Scott.
Hey, Wyatt, I think I read that yesterday was your 100th game. Was that special to you to hit that milestone?
I didn't even know. I guess I see coach in the meeting and he's like, "Hey, congratulations on the 100th start." And I was like, "What? No one told me. I had no idea." But I guess that's the way it goes. It's like if something's happening, you don't want to talk about it. But no, it's an extreme honor. Who would have thunk when I was a 5-year-old kid thinking I was going to play in the NFL that I'd make it to 100 starts. So special.
Yeah. And on a maybe, I don't know, a more down note, the 4th downs it took you to get in from the 1 for that touchdown. Like, what did you see when you went back and watched it on film? And I mean, obviously you're glad that you scored, but was it frustrating it took 4 downs?
Yeah, no, of course. There's just small things. I mean, speaking of the first goal line play we had, which should have been a walk-in and almost was. I mean, it still almost was. I missed a coaching point of my split. So it just closed the gap. I mean, I wasn't that far off, but enough where it's, 6 inches, 8 inches of a split can really change, where you're going, and he doesn't have to jump over your legs. You can kind of just, run downhill. So just little things that, amount to big things. I, you know, I always pride ourselves on being a good short yardage and goal line team. So to take, 4 attempts to get in, is never good. That being said, I think that one of those quarterback sneaks was a little closer than they gave, but it shouldn't be a doubt. You should be totally across. The mindset is if you put 22 feet on their side of the line, you have a chance to make a yard. So, I've, it's a little embarrassing, but also we scored, which was good. At the end of the day, we did get in. So I'm happy about that, but more opportunities. I wish we had 4 different drives that ended in goal line scores, just the first one, but it doesn't always work out that way.
Thanks.
And Mary Kay, you have one more?
Yeah. So how do you guys feel about heading over to London? Not only do you have to try to lick your wounds after a embarrassing loss like this, but now you have to go all the way over to London and try to get the job done against a football team that's already been there and acclimated for a week. So what does this week hold for you guys?
Yeah, no, I feel like first we gotta, learn from this loss. Even in wins, you're learning stuff, but especially in losses, you don't want the same things to happen again. So learn from this loss, get our bodies right. I'm pretty sure docs are talking about banking sleep. I don't know how to do that, but especially with children, but try to take care of your body. It's going to be a weird, flight out there, so just be able to, recover, in a weird situation, or a weird, I guess thing happening with going to, UK. But it's an awesome experience. I haven't been to London, I haven't been to England. So it'll be cool, to see all that stuff. So that's exciting. And to play in a different area, different country is kind of mind-boggling to me. So it's cool.